Right now, the world's largest tech firms are burning billions of dollars on computing power, racing to build the most intelligent software ever created. The entire industry is operating on a foundational assumption that building an AI model with unmatched raw intelligence creates an impenetrable competitive advantage. If you build the smartest brain, you win the market. But the strategic advisory firm LaVentures argues that this premise is flawed. They point out that the actual competitive moats protecting giants like OpenAI and Anthropic are remarkably thin, which forces us to ask a very uncomfortable question. What if this multi-billion-dollar race for the smartest model is actually a climb up a ladder toward complete irrelevance? Every frontier technology eventually encounters a concept called the capability ceiling. It is the point where the hardware and software become more advanced than the tasks they are meant to solve. If the capability ceiling holds true, trillion-dollar tech monopolies are currently betting their survival on a misunderstanding of how technology actually becomes valuable to everyday people. This graph shows a standard utility curve applied to artificial intelligence. On the bottom, we track raw model intelligence, and on the side, the actual value it delivers to a user. Every task category has a strict threshold of usefulness mapped on this grid. The mechanics here are brutal. Once an AI model gets good enough to reliably perform a specific task, adding an increase in intelligence to the backend does absolutely nothing for the user. The value hits a hard plateau. We can see this in action right now. AI image generation has already hit this wall. Once a model can generate exactly the image you visualized, pumping excessive amounts of additional reasoning power into the system yields zero extra value. The exact same economic logic applies to coding and processing speed. There is immense value in shrinking a 30-second wait for a code completion down to a 2-second wait. But the moment that code generation drops below the threshold of human perception, the math changes. Any further speed gains from a smarter, faster model stop mattering entirely. For the vast majority of single-dimensional tasks, pushing an AI past this threshold of usefulness doesn't result in a miracle product. It results in over-engineered technology that is too expensive for the value it provides. There is a caveat to the capability ceiling. There is a specific category of complex, multidimensional tasks where frontier intelligence genuinely pays off. We are talking about synthesizing conflicting global data streams or coordinating thousands of traffic, water, and energy variables across a real-time city grid. Managing systems at a government scale requires a model capable of holding countless, constantly shifting variables in its memory at once. This establishes the broad, scalable reasoning power of the most expensive frontier models. But LaVentures identifies a paradox here. These frontier models are perfect for multidimensional tasks, yet those large-scale problems represent a microscopic fraction of total market demand. By focusing their engineering entirely on super-intelligent models built for the top 1% of problems, AI companies are aggressively pricing themselves out of the 99% of everyday business needs. The reality of the market is far simpler. The vast majority of companies do not need a frontier supercomputer to run their operations. They need an AI that is reliable, fast, cheap, and good enough. And right now, smaller, heavily discounted models are rapidly closing the capability gap. As they do, high IQ artificial intelligence devolves from a premium luxury into a basic, interchangeable commodity. This establishes the new rule of the AI economy. The ultimate winners won't have the smartest models. The true competitive edge will belong to aggressive pricing, widespread distribution, and deep workflow integration. Look at Anthropic's current business model. If you use their API, the token fees scale painfully for heavy users. To avoid those costs, Anthropic pushes you toward a flat-rate subscription, but only if you use their specific desktop app. This app isn't a feature. It's what LaVentures calls a distribution wall. By forcing heavy users into a standalone interface to stay cost-effective, Anthropic creates a friction-filled barrier that prevents users from easily swapping their model for a cheaper competitor. But trying to lock users into a standalone app is a fragile advantage. It gets destroyed the second a competitor seamlessly embeds a cheaper AI directly into the tools and workflows people are already using every day. Building the smartest model is a temporary title. When the dust settles, lasting dominance in the AI era won't look like an omnipotent, standalone supercomputer. It will look like an invisible, cheap, everyday utility.